Hey, stop whatever you are doing right now, because in the next few minutes, your English conversations are going to change forever. I am not kidding.
That's right. If you have ever stood in front of someone and your brain just went completely blank, no words, no sentences, nothing, then you are in the right place today.
Welcome to Mr. English Podcast. I'm James.
And I'm Emma, and today we are talking about one of the biggest challenges for English learners everywhere: how to talk to anyone in English, naturally, comfortably, without freezing up.
We're going to talk about how to start a conversation, how to keep it going, how to ask for help politely, how to do daily small talk, and yes, how to end a conversation without it feeling super weird.
Because ending a conversation the wrong way, that is its own kind of problem. We will get to that.
Before we jump in, if you are new here, welcome to the family. Please subscribe to Mr. English Podcast right now. Share it with a friend who's learning English. We make every episode easy, real, and fun just for you.
Okay, are you ready? Let's go.
So, Emma, let me ask you something. Do you remember the first time you had to talk to a complete stranger in English?
Oh, my goodness, yes. I was at a bus stop in Chicago. A woman next to me asked me a simple question. She said, "Do you know when the next bus comes?" And I just stood there, my mouth opened and closed like a fish.
Like a fish. That is such a perfect description.
I knew the answer. I had looked at the schedule, but my brain just refused to work. I finally said something like, 10 minute? Not even 10 minutes, just 10 minute. No S, no nothing.
And what happened?
She smiled and said, "Oh, great, thank you," and walked away happy, and I stood there thinking, wait, that worked? That was enough?
And that is honestly the first lesson right there. You do not need perfect English to communicate. You need enough English to be understood. And that's a very different thing.
Exactly. People are not grading you. They just want to understand what you're saying. Most of the time, even a few correct words are enough to get your message across.
I had a similar experience. My first week living in a new city, I went to a grocery store. I needed to find the bread. Simple, right? But I couldn't find it, and I had to ask someone.
What did you do?
I walked up to a store worker and I said very slowly, "Excuse me, where is the bread?" And I kind of pointed around like I was searching for something.
The universal sign for "I am lost."
And the guy said, "Oh, sure, aisle 4, right over there." And he pointed. I said, "Thank you so much." And that was it. A 5-second conversation. But I felt like I had climbed a mountain.
That feeling is real. Every small conversation win matters. And the more small wins you collect, the more your confidence grows.
So let's start with the basics. How do you actually begin a conversation in English?
Okay, so starting a conversation can feel like the hardest part. You see someone, you want to say something, but you think, what do I say? What if I say it wrong? What if they don't understand me?
And then the moment passes and you say nothing, and you feel a little disappointed in yourself.
Yes, that cycle. We want to break that cycle today. So here's the thing. Most conversations in real life start with something very, very simple, like a greeting.
Right, and greetings don't have to be fancy. The most common ones you'll hear and use every single day are things like hi, hey, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
And then you follow the greeting with something short, like, how are you? Or, how's it going? Or, how are you doing today?
These phrases are like keys. They open the door to a conversation. When you say, "How are you?" to someone, they automatically feel welcomed. They feel like you are friendly, and they usually reply.
Now, what do you say after they reply? That's where a lot of learners get stuck.
Yes, someone says, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" And then there's that little moment of panic.
The panic pause.
You just say, "I'm doing well, thanks," or "Pretty good, thanks for asking." That's it, short and simple. You do not need to explain your entire life right there.
Let me give a really simple example of a full conversation opener. Imagine you're at work or school, you walk in and see a coworker or classmate. You say, "Hey, good morning. How are you doing today?"
They say, "Good morning. I'm doing great, thanks. And you?"
You say, "I'm doing well. It's a nice day, isn't it?"
They say, "It really is. Finally some sunshine."
And just like that, you've started a conversation. No big vocabulary, no complex sentences, just warm, simple, friendly words.
Practice that out loud right now. Say it with your own name, your own voice. "Good morning. How are you doing today?" Say it like you mean it, with a smile in your voice.
Now let's talk about a slightly different situation. What about starting a conversation with someone you've never met, a stranger?
This one feels scarier, but it's actually very manageable once you have a few simple tools.
One of the best tools is what we call a situational comment. This means you look at the situation around you and you say something about it, something both of you can relate to.
For example, you're waiting in a long line at a coffee shop. You turn to the person next to you and say, "This line is so long today. They must be really busy."
The person might laugh and say, "I know, right? I've been waiting for 10 minutes already."
And then you can continue, "I hope it's worth it. I really need my coffee this morning."
Something everyone can relate to. That's the magic of a situational comment. You're talking about something both of you are experiencing right now, in this moment. It feels natural. It feels safe.
And here's the beautiful thing. Even if the other person just smiles and says, "Yeah, totally," that's okay. You tried. You started. That's already a win.
So you started the conversation, great. But now what? How do you keep it going without it becoming awkward?
This is where asking questions becomes your best friend, specifically open questions. Open questions are questions that cannot be answered with just yes or no.
Instead of asking, "Do you like this city?" which gives someone a yes or no answer, ask, "What do you like most about this city?" Now the person has to think and share something.
Or instead of, "Are you from here?" say, "Where are you originally from?" Instead of, "Do you work nearby?" say, "What kind of work do you do?"
Open questions invite the other person to talk more, and when they talk more, the conversation moves forward naturally. You also get more information to respond to.
Here's a trick that I personally love and use all the time. It's called echo and extend. When someone tells you something, you repeat a little bit of it back to them and then add a question.
Like, someone says, "I went hiking this weekend." You say, "Oh, you went hiking? That sounds amazing. Where did you go?"
See? You echoed, "You went hiking." You showed interest, and then you extended, "Where did you go?" You kept the conversation moving.
Let's try a longer example together. James, pretend you just met me somewhere and start a conversation.
Sure. Okay. "Hey, are you new here? I don't think I've seen you before."
Yeah, actually, I just moved here a few weeks ago.
"Oh, wow. You just moved here? That's exciting. Where did you move from?"
I came from Texas. It's quite different here.
"I can imagine. What's the biggest difference you've noticed so far?"
Honestly, the weather. It's so much colder here than I expected.
Yeah, the winters here are no joke. Do you have a good winter jacket yet?
See how that flowed? James kept asking questions based on what I said. He never had to think of a totally new topic. He just listened and followed the thread.
That is the key. Follow the thread. Whatever the person gives you, use it, build your next question from it, and the conversation will keep going almost by itself.
Let's talk about something that many people think is not important, but is actually incredibly important. Small talk.
Small talk is the short, light conversation we have every day about the weather, about the weekend, about food, about a show you watched. It might seem like nothing, but small talk is actually the glue that holds social relationships together.
Think about it. Before you talk about something serious or deep with someone, you warm up, right? You say a few light things. You test the waters. You see if the person is friendly. That is small talk doing its job.
Common small talk topics include the weather, weekend plans, food, sports, traffic, recent news, TV shows, and local events.
And the phrases are simple. Things like, "Can you believe this weather?" Or, "Do you have any fun plans for the weekend?" Or, "Have you tried that new restaurant on Main Street?" Or, "Did you catch the game last night?"
You do not have to know everything about the topic. You just have to be curious and friendly.
I want to share a little story here. When I first started working at an office in the US, I would walk past my coworkers in the hallway and just
nod, or maybe say a quick hi. And I wondered why I didn't feel very connected to anyone.
What changed?
One day, one of my coworkers stopped me and said, "Hey, Emma, did you watch the finale last night?" I had no idea what she was talking about, but I said, "Oh no, I missed it. Was it good?" And she spent the next 5 minutes telling me all about it.
And just like that, connection made.
Exactly. I didn't know the topic, but I showed interest. I asked a question, and that was enough. After that, she started talking to me more often. Small talk built our friendship.
So if you're not sure what to say, just ask about the other person's experience. Did you enjoy your weekend? How was your morning? Did you try anything new lately? People love talking about themselves. Give them that chance and they'll feel good around you.
Okay, now let's talk about something super practical. How to ask for help in English, how to get someone's attention politely, and how to say sorry or excuse yourself naturally.
This is a big one because sometimes you need to ask someone, a stranger, for directions, or ask someone to repeat something, or apologize for bumping into someone. And if you don't know the right phrases, it can get uncomfortable fast.
Let's start with getting someone's attention. The most common and polite way to do this is to say, "Excuse me."
Excuse me is like a magic phrase. It's polite, it's clear, and everyone understands it. You say it when you want to get someone's attention before you ask your question.
For example, "Excuse me, could you help me find the bathroom?" Or, "Excuse me, do you know what time it is?" Or, "Excuse me, is this seat taken?"
You can also say, "Sorry to bother you, but," at the beginning, like, "Sorry to bother you, but I'm a little lost. Could you point me toward the train station?"
Sorry to bother you shows that you're being respectful of the other person's time. It makes the interaction feel very polite and friendly.
Now, what if you didn't hear what someone said or you didn't understand? This happens to everyone, even native speakers, and there are very natural ways to handle it.
You can say, "I'm sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you say it again?" Or simply, "Pardon?" Or, "Could you speak a little slower, please? I'm still learning English."
That last one, "I'm still learning English," is actually a very powerful phrase, because when you say it, most people immediately become kind and patient. They'll slow down, they'll use simpler words, they want to help you.
I wish I had known that earlier. I spent so many months pretending I understood things I didn't, just because I was too embarrassed to say, "Could you repeat that?"
And that's exhausting, nodding and smiling and having no idea what just happened.
The eternal nod. Yes, I know it well.
Now, let's talk about apologizing. If you bump into someone, you say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," or "Sorry about that," or "My apologies."
And if you're late or you interrupted someone, you might say, "I'm really sorry for being late," or "Sorry for interrupting, but I had a quick question."
These phrases are short and simple, but they show respect, and respect is the foundation of every good conversation.
Let's talk about the conversations you have every day. Not the big, dramatic ones, just the small, normal, everyday exchanges that happen all around you.
Ordering at a coffee shop, talking to a cashier, saying hello to a neighbor, chatting with a coworker during lunch. These are the moments where your English gets built, one small brick at a time.
Let's practice a few of these together. First, ordering at a coffee shop or restaurant.
You walk in, someone at the counter says, "Hi, what can I get for you today?"
You say, "Hi, could I get a medium coffee with milk, please?" Or, "Can I have a glass of water and the chicken sandwich?" Or, "I'll have the soup, please. Does it come with bread?"
These sentences are short and polite. You use "could I" or "can I" or "I'll have" to make your request, and always add "please" at the end. It makes a big difference.
After they give you your order, they might say, "Is there anything else I can get for you?" You say, "No, that's everything. Thank you so much." Or, "Actually, could I also get a napkin? Thanks."
Simple, natural, easy. Let's try another one. Talking to a neighbor.
You are walking out of your house, you see your neighbor. You say, "Good morning, beautiful day, isn't it?"
They say, "It really is. Finally feels like spring."
You say, "I know, I'm thinking about going for a walk later. Do you know if the park nearby is nice?"
They say, "Oh yes, it's lovely. There's a big pond and some great trails."
That sounds great. I'll check it out. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Enjoy.
That entire conversation took maybe 30 seconds, but it built a connection. It made both people feel good. And if you practice these kinds of exchanges every day, your confidence will grow so fast.
Here is my challenge for you. Every single day this week, start at least one real conversation in English, even a tiny one, even just ordering something or asking for directions. One conversation a day. That is all.
And if you do not have anyone to talk to yet, talk to yourself. I know it sounds a little funny, but narrate your day in English. Say out loud what you are doing. I'm making breakfast. I'm putting on my shoes. I'm getting ready to go to work. This keeps your brain in English mode.
Let's shift gears and talk about something that can instantly make any conversation warmer: giving compliments.
Compliments are wonderful tools. When you say something kind to someone, they automatically feel good. And when people feel good around you, they want to keep talking to you.
And the great news is, compliments in English are very simple. You don't need fancy vocabulary. You just need to be genuine.
Here are some simple, natural compliments you can use every day. I really like your style, or that color looks great on you, or you have such a positive energy, or you are really easy to talk to.
And when someone compliments you, don't panic. A lot of learners aren't sure how to receive a compliment. They might say nothing, or they disagree and say, "Oh no, I'm terrible."
The classic uncomfortable deflection.
Instead, just smile and say, "Thank you so much. That's really kind of you." Or, "Thanks, I really appreciate that." Short and gracious. That's all you need.
Here's a real-life situation. You're in a class or a meeting, and someone gives a really good presentation. Afterward, you walk up to them and say, "Hey, I just wanted to say, your presentation was really impressive. I liked how clearly you explained everything."
They say, "Oh, thank you. I was actually pretty nervous."
You say, "You couldn't tell at all. You seemed very confident." And now you have a conversation going, all because of one genuine compliment.
Compliments open doors. Use them, be sincere, and watch how people respond to you.
Okay, we need to talk about something that every English learner fears: the awkward silence. That moment when the conversation just stops and both people are standing there not knowing what to say.
I have lived through many of those moments, and let me tell you, they feel much worse to the person experiencing them than they do to the other person. Most of the time, the other person barely even notices.
That is so true. We make those silences 10 times bigger in our heads.
So what do you do when there's a silence? First, breathe. Don't panic. A short pause is completely natural in every conversation in every language.
If you need to fill the silence, you can use what we call conversation fillers or rescue phrases. Things like, "So, what else is new with you?" Or, "By the way, I've been meaning to ask you," or, "Oh, that reminds me," or, "You know what's funny?"
These phrases act like bridges. They take you from one moment in the conversation to the next. They're simple, they're natural, and they work every time.
Now let's talk about making mistakes, because you will make them. We all do, and that's perfectly okay.
If you say the wrong word, just smile and correct yourself. Say, "Sorry, I meant to say," and then say the right word. Easy.
If you completely forget a word, describe it instead. If you can't remember the word microwave, just say, "That machine in the kitchen that heats up food quickly." People will know what you mean.
I have a funny story about this. I once forgot the word stapler at work, and instead of just saying nothing, I walked up to a coworker and said, "Hey, do you have that thing, the metal thing that you click and it pins papers together?"
Oh no.
And she looked at me for a second and said, "A stapler?" And I said, "Yes, that, a stapler. Thank you."
And she probably thought you were the funniest person in the office.
She laughed, we had a little moment, and honestly, it was better than if I had just said the word correctly with no personality. The small struggle made it real and human.
That is such a good point. Being imperfect in a genuine, warm way is actually more likable than being robotically perfect. People connect with real humans, not walking dictionaries.
All right, let's get to one of the most important and most overlooked skills in conversation: how to end a conversation politely and naturally.
This is so important because a lot of learners know how to start, but then they don't know how to stop, and they either keep talking way too long or they just awkwardly walk away.
The awkward disappearing act, just slowly backing away and hoping the person doesn't notice.
We've all been there. So here are some clean, natural ways to end a conversation in English.
If you're wrapping up with someone you just met, you can say, "It was so nice talking to you. I hope we run into each other again." Or, "I really enjoyed your conversation. Take care."
If you're ending a conversation with a friend or coworker, "All right, I should get going, but let's catch up more soon." Or, "I've got to run, but this was great. Let's talk later."
If you need to leave because you're busy, "I don't want to keep you. Thanks for chatting." Or, "I'll let you get back to what you were doing. It was great seeing you."
These phrases are warm, they're respectful, and they leave a good feeling at the end of the conversation, which is important because people remember how a conversation ends just as much as how it began.
Let's do a quick example. You've been talking to a classmate between classes. The next class is about to start. You say, "Oh, I think we'd better head in. It was really nice talking to you, though."
They say, "Yeah, totally. We should hang out sometime."
You say, "Definitely. I'll see you around." And you smile and walk in.
Done. Clean, warm, natural. Practice that. Try different scenarios. Ending conversations well is a skill. And like all skills, it gets better with practice.
Before we get to our final thoughts, let's quickly cover something that often gets forgotten: body language and tone.
When you are having a conversation in English, or any language, the words you say are only part of the message. A lot of what people feel about the conversation comes from how you say it, your tone, your facial expressions, your posture.
A warm smile can make even very simple English feel welcoming and friendly. Eye contact shows that you are present and interested. Nodding while someone talks shows that you are listening.
And your tone of voice matters enormously. If you say, "That's interesting," in a flat, bored voice, it sounds sarcastic. But if you say it with a little energy and a slight rise in your voice, it sounds genuine.
Try it right now. Say, "That's so interesting," in a flat voice. Now say it with real enthusiasm. Feel the difference? That difference is what makes a conversation feel alive.
Also, pace yourself. Do not speak too fast. When you are nervous, the temptation is to rush through your words. Slow down. Take a breath. Speak clearly. People will understand you much better.
And here's something I always tell people. Your energy is contagious. If you come to a conversation with warmth and openness, the other person will usually meet you there. Smile first. Be the friendly one. It works.
You do not need to be perfect. You need to be present. Show up with kindness and curiosity, and the words will come.
Let's talk about confidence, because everything we've shared today means nothing if you never try.
Confidence in English, or in any language, is not something you are born with. It is something you build, day by day, conversation by conversation, mistake by mistake.
Here are a few simple things you can do every single day to build your English speaking confidence.
Number 1, talk to yourself in English. Narrate your day. Describe what you see around you. Have imaginary conversations. It sounds silly, but it seriously works.
Number 2, practice in low-pressure situations first. Order your coffee in English. Say good morning to your neighbor. Ask a simple question at a store. Start small, build up.
Number 3, celebrate every win. Did you start a conversation today? Amazing. Did you understand someone who spoke fast? Incredible. Did you correct yourself after a mistake and keep going? That is courage.
Number 4, do not compare your English to others. Someone has been learning for 10 years, someone else for 10 weeks. Everyone's journey is different. Focus on your own progress.
Number 5, listen a lot. Listen to podcasts like this one. Listen to TV shows, conversations, videos. The more English you hear, the more naturally it will sound to you, and the more naturally it will come out of you.
And number 6, give yourself grace. You're learning a whole new language. That is not easy. It takes time. Be patient with yourself the same way you would be patient with a friend who's learning something new.
I really wish someone had told me all of this when I started. Learning English felt so overwhelming at first, but one conversation at a time, it became easier, and then it became natural, and then it became fun.
And that's where we want you to get to. Fun. English as something you enjoy. Because when you enjoy it, you practice it more. And when you practice more, you get better. It's a beautiful cycle.
Okay, we're getting close to the end of today's episode, but before we go, let's do a quick recap of everything we covered.
We talked about why talking in English feels hard and why it doesn't have to be perfect.
We talked about how to start a conversation naturally with greetings, open questions, and situational comments.
We talked about how to keep the conversation going by echoing, asking open questions, and following the thread.
We talked about small talk and why it's the secret glue of real relationships.
We talked about how to ask for help politely using phrases like "excuse me" and "sorry to bother you."
We talked about daily conversations at restaurants, with neighbors, at work.
We talked about giving and receiving compliments.
We talked about handling awkward silences and making mistakes with grace.
We talked about how to end a conversation naturally and warmly.
We talked about body language, tone, pace, and building your confidence every single day.
That's a lot, but you don't have to do it all at once. Pick one thing from today, just one, and practice it this week.
One new phrase, one new conversation, one new moment of courage.
And that's how it starts. That's how every fluent English speaker started, one small, brave moment at a time.
We believe in you, truly. You wouldn't be here listening to this if you weren't already committed to growing, and that commitment is everything.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today at Mr. English Podcast. It means the world to us.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Mr. English Podcast right now. It's free, and it helps us keep making content just like this for you.
Share this episode with someone who's learning English, a friend, a family member, a coworker. You could be the reason they gain the confidence to finally start speaking.
And we have a question for you, and we really, really want to hear your answer. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to talking in English? Is it starting a conversation, keeping it going, understanding fast speakers, ending it without it being awkward?
Tell us in the comments, share your story, share your experience, because your story might be exactly what another listener needs to hear to feel less alone.
This community is all of us, learning together, growing together, one conversation at a time.
Until next time, keep speaking, keep trying, and remember,
every great English conversation you'll ever have starts with just one brave little word.
See you next time.
Take care, everyone. Bye.